Hey, deserving listeners, 90 Day Fiancé, the tell-all, happily ever after. Let's watch.
But we did have some big arguments.
Michael, because I found naked boobs in his phone 2 hours after he proposed me, Trish.
Wow.
All right, well, we didn't hear about this either. I wonder what that means. Oh, did we hear about this? Yeah, I think we... maybe this is the thing that she was alluding to. A friend had sent pictures, naked pictures to him, and she found that on his phone. Okay, I don't think that completely ruins the entire situation, but maybe we'll get some information.
And I see, of course, it did. It was 1 week before he arrived, and it was a lot of pictures of this woman very naked. She didn't have any clothes, and she was very beautiful.
You know who is this girl or not?
It was literally my ex. It was his ex-girlfriend.
Is girlfriend some boobs?
Yes, it was ex-girlfriend. She was trying to get back.
Okay, so this is what they were referring. I remember early in the season, they were in Seattle at the hotel, and they were eating sushi, I believe, in the lobby of the hotel. And that's when she snarkily mentions this situation. So now we finally have context, or did we already know this? Anyway, so according to Mike, and it sounds like a credible story, and Natalie is kind of confirming this, is that his ex was trying to get back with him and sending him naked pictures of herself, which, does that work for people? It's like, hey, I want to get back together with you, picture, send. Anyway, so he didn't want to get back together with her, presumably, because he was getting married or had been married at that point, but didn't delete the pictures, saved the pictures, or do the pictures automatically save? That's not usually a thing, right? But he saved the pictures. Now, he could say something like, yeah, I saved the pictures. I don't know. It's stupid. I just thought it'd be interesting to maybe have those pictures just for my own enjoyment or something. He could say something like that. Now, Natalie could say that I don't want you to do that. And he could say, yeah, okay, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done it. Or does he say, I don't know how they got on my phone. She sent him. Somehow they got saved on my phone. Look, I can't do anything about people sending me things like that. And I told her not to do that anymore. So maybe there's a story there. I don't believe that Mike was cheating. I don't believe that, but who knows, maybe he was. It didn't seem like Mike was interested in other people during that relationship. Now, would it be possible if Mike was like slightly entertaining getting back with his ex and at least accepting flirtation from his ex, because him and Natalie were and had been for quite some time experiencing a lot of difficulty? I could see a scenario like that, and maybe he was caught in that.
And then I was like, you can't do that no more. Like, I'm seeing her. I deleted the photo.
So, Trish, you don't think this is a relationship that can be salvaged?
I don't want him to salvage it.
Did you know that he is not your man, he's your husband? I'm sorry.
I know who he is.
You are too much involved.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the way that the mom answered the question was telling. Sean asked, do you think that they should try to work out the relationship? And instead of the mom saying something like, well, I don't know their relationship. I only see it from afar. I really worry about my son. And if it can be reconciled, then yeah, but I worry that maybe it can't be. And by prolonging it, it's just going to cause more pain for my son. And I don't want my son to go through that. Okay, that would be a more differentiated response that's fair and non-enmeshed. But the mom didn't say that. And there's been other instances where the mom has said things along these lines of, I don't want you to do that, you're not going to do it. As if he's a 14-year-old boy or something.
Oh my God, Trish.
You wanted to be married, and now you've run
Whatever.
off.
I mean,
you
I'm
wanted to
sorry.
be married just to stay in the country.
Sorry?
Why did you use him? You could never, you can't
Trish, I
even
was
say
in
that
love
you
with
ever
him.
loved him.
I loved him so much. It's not true. I was in love with
Is that why
Michael.
you threw the ring back
If
in the
I wasn't
suitcase
in love with him, I would never
You were
cry
so
over
in
some
love with
bitch who
him.
sends him naked picture.
Yeah, so the mom is very sure of herself, which is interesting and notable. And Natalie is being the bigger person right now and trying to get, Natalie doesn't have to convince herself to anybody, but she's trying and being nice about it, frankly. Making some cases. Mike should step in again and say, Mom, we had love. I hear that you believe that she didn't love me. You weren't there. She loved me. I loved her. We had real feelings. She wasn't in it just for the green card. Mike should step in.
I'm sick of hearing her be the victim, man. If you don't like Mike, Mike don't want you, take your ass home.
Yeah, there's that attitude. I don't, this obsession with people, and of course, you know, we see this all the time in the news of, if you're a foreigner, you need to go back home. Who cares? Like, she came to the States thinking that she was going to live with Mike for the rest of her life. Things didn't work out. And now she lives in Florida. Who cares? Just let it go, people. She has a legitimate, you know, reason, maybe even a legitimate legal reason to live in the States. Like, let it go. It's fine. You know, they're not going to take your gerbs. It's fine. So, yeah. It's an interesting perspective. Is it true in other countries too? I imagine this is an American thing, honestly. There's this border, and you have to. What are we protecting? What's Natalie going to do to our country? And I want to point out that if Americans, true Native Americans who lived here first, had that attitude, then none of y'all on this show would be living in this country.
If you don't love him, get the out of here.
Natalie, if you guys divorce, you go back to Ukraine, yes?
Probably.
Right? Let me please say, visa K1, this is people who made it. This is why we fight for our process so long time. And people like you come this country for live here. Why not take different visa? Why not take K3, K5?
Because she loved him and wanted to make it work and thought it might work. I don't understand this interpretation. Of all the couples, really. Well, maybe people. I remember there were some comments on my videos of people thinking that that they didn't really love each other, and that it was all a big fakery or something. And it certainly could be. There's no way for us to know, but it didn't seem that way to me. Again, particularly given how much love and affection and chemistry they had in the very beginning of their relationship 2 or 3 seasons ago. So I don't understand why other people, cast members, can't just be like, yeah, you gave it a shot, you thought it was going to work, and it didn't work out. And now it looks like it's the end of the relationship, you're getting a divorce, sad for the two of you. And Natalie wants to stay in the States. Big deal. Okay.
Or another visa, why you K here, K1 visa? For marry guy and stay here legal?
Can I remind you that if I would be that way, I would wait until I get papers. I would not leave Michael.
Okay, if you
It doesn't
divorce,
matter
you
to
go
me.
back your country, yes, right? No, you stay here. This
For
is
now,
what I wanna
yes.
say.
Well, so you use Mike to get to
You
America.
use Mike for green card.
Yeah?
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Natalie is taking it really well. She's being extremely functional right now and differentiated. It's like, okay, I've tried to make my case. What can I say? If it looks that way to you, then I guess that's the way it looks, but that's not how it is. So good on Natalie for not participating in this silliness. Again, Mike should be defending her if he cares, and to defend himself on some level too, of just like, look, I'm not a fool. I knew she was in love with me, and yeah, we've fallen out of love. And I don't think Mike wants to kick her out, but it'd be nice if Mike would stick up for her in this moment.
And I'm sorry,
You know
I
what?
really
I feel like all you do is scam. Scam. You've been nothing but evil to him. If it's not Natalie's way and the way Natalie thinks and the way Natalie wants, then it's not good.
And good on Natalie for going to Trish and being very nice and saying, look, I don't hate you, when clearly Trish has a massive distortion, I think, about Natalie. And Trish just continues to lay in. And I'm starting to hear that trauma in Trish's voice. Something's coming up for her. Something has been displaced onto Natalie. Total speculation.
I don't blame you for wanting to better yourself, but you should not have used Michael
How can I
to
use
get.
him? How did I use
You
him?
used him to get to America, and then
Oh
as
my
soon
God,
as you could,
you know-
you run off.
Trish,
You
can I speak?
used him. You lie. You lie, you lie, you lie.
Yikes. And then you wonder what was going on behind the scenes with Mike. Natalie thought, I think Trish is poisoning the well with Mike's love for me. And so it seems, given Trish's attitude, that is possible. And given the way Trish kind of thinks that her entitlement to Mike's life, And we just also have to wonder what kind of political echo chamber Trish lives in, what kind of brainwashing she's had, who knows, regarding foreigners and the way the world works, as if people don't want to live anywhere else, as if everyone's just scrambling to come to the United States and there's really nowhere else in the world worth living in. This is why I'm kind of digging the new season of 90 Day Fiancé, the Caribbean one, what's it called? Love in Paradise, that I've been reacting to. Because a lot of the people on the show, a lot of the non-Americans, are highly ambivalent about coming to the States. In fact, one, Kay, is like, I don't want to live in the States. I love it here. This is great. So it's maybe helpful to Americans to watch that and see, oh, maybe not everyone is dying to come to America. And thus, I don't have to suspect every single person on the show of scamming.
You're not even strong enough or big enough to tell your mom that you're not with him no more. You're the one making all the mistakes. You even said bad things about Bo, how Bo stole your jewelry.
Now, hopefully, Mike is returning to the studio to defend Natalie on some level. Now, we all understand that Mike is upset and hurt and has expressed a lot of hostility to Natalie, but hopefully Mike can say, Mom, look, I get you're trying to defend me and I love you and thank you, but you don't see things accurately. I don't think she was scamming me. We loved each other. We fell out of love with each other. It didn't work out, and let's just let it go. Let's see what Mike says.
Bo didn't steal your jewelry.
Who stole them? They disappeared. You know,
You pawned them.
What is
You went
pawned
to a pawn shop and pawned them and got money for them.
Are you joking?
You can't manipulate everybody all the time to get what you want. And that's all you do. You manipulate, you lie, you steal.
I hear that adrenaline in Trish's voice. I hear that trauma. I think she's melting down a little bit right now. And we see Mike approaching but not saying anything. And I always wonder about the history of this family. What was the dad like? You know, with Colt, what was Colt's dad like? What was Debbie and Colt and dad? What was, they lived together. What was Trish's husband? Is Mike's dad still around? Is he dead? What's going on? What was that dynamic? What was the childhood like for Trish? What was the childhood like for Mike? Because we see Mike, I think he wants to step in, but is he not because he's afraid of his mom? Let's watch.
Everything.
Why? Like, that's why we fight. You know, one way you call me hooker, another way you tell me I pose the jewelry. I didn't touch it.
I didn't call you a hooker.
Okay, but I both stole my jewelry. I swear to you, he did.
Let's take a break.
Okay? Why are you...
So Mike very timidly just says, let's take a break, instead of participating. I think that's telling. It's because, of course, Mike has things to say. He has all sorts of things to say, something. But he just wants to avoid. He just wants everything to be okay. I wonder if, who knows, Mike saw his parents fighting a lot in this way, and Trish was like this, and the dad was some other kind of way, and this was Mike's role. This was maybe part of his avoidance, is just like, can everyone just get along?
Why
I
would you
don't know
do
what
that?
to say.
Why
I
would you
don't-
even do that?
Okay. Phew.
Lying bitch. I didn't call her a hooker in the past, but I would call her something today.
Well, that's interesting. That doesn't help your case. To say that you would call her a hooker today lends itself to the idea that you did call her something in the past, but who knows? I suspect that there was a misunderstanding. And again, were there no microphones hooked up? Because they always have that pack and that microphone. Why can't we just go to the tape?
Думала, что что-то изменится, он не хочет меняться, он не меняется, блин, ну и все. Я просто думаю о том, что у меня такое разочарование. Я очень сильно была влюблена в Майкла. Все было, у нас такие мечты были. Я так ребенка хотела, я хотела семьи. У нас были хорошие чувства, у нас были искренние чувства. Вы уничтожили нашу любовь, мам. Я не знаю, может быть, я вообще одна буду.
And another differentiated, nice thing for her to say, instead of saying he destroyed our marriage, she said we destroyed our marriage. We destroyed our love together, which I think is absolutely accurate. She says that she was deeply in love, and now she's wondering if she'll be alone for the rest of her life. This is a very vulnerable moment, and it's natural for her to think that. I hope that she doesn't believe that about herself. What would I think would happen in the future? I think it's possible that if she was with someone else that was a little bit different, more similar to her, things could work out. But I do think she has a lot of issues that therapy would help with. She when there was any kind of a threat, like if you remember from the very beginning, when he's saying, look, I don't want to be Orthodox Catholic, I don't want to be, I'm atheist. I believe in aliens. Remember that whole thing? And she really had a hard time with that. And some people would comment below and say, look, in her part of the world, it's extremely important that you are that religion. And okay, but she, is marrying or dating someone, is engaged to someone from the States and isn't likely to be of that religion. And she had a really hard time with it. So, and it wasn't that she was just rigid around it. She interpreted it as he didn't love her enough, if I remember right. So she has some issues that she deserves to heal from. And so I hope that she can do that. And I think it's absolutely possible for her, of course, that she could find someone with therapy that things could work out absolutely. Same with Mike, honestly.
Я пойду к адвокату.
I will also say that if they found a good therapist that they both wanted to participate with, because I think for Mike, he's less ready to be in therapy, that they could actually fall back in love with each other. I've worked with couples that had worse conflict and worse times than this. So I'm not saying that they should do this, but I'm saying that if they wanted to reconcile and wanted to work on things, I think they have that potential for sure with proper guidance around their attachment injuries.
Мамочка, все, вы закончите меня. Рад, люблю, пока. Эконот. Poses bull.
All right, well, that is it for that episode. Everyone out there, please take care of yourself because you deserve it. You really, really do.